Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only animation legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family, reborn, refused to give up his chakra to Menma. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of the series, and if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. You guys will definitely like it. And yeah, guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be very helpful to me as I want to reach 20k subscribers on this channel, and you guys subscribing would be really appreciated. So without any further ado, let us start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that Orochimaru has started his plan as Minato and the third Hokage had just arrived in the Chunin exam arena, wanting to check on Menma, who was unconscious, as well as ask Naruto questions, but Orochimaru decided to summon 10 cage level shinobis, including Sakumo Hatake, the first and second Hokage, taking all the people of Konoha in shock, while on the other hand, the Sand Shinobi started to attack the Shinobi of Konoha, while a barrier appeared around the arena surrounding Minato as well as the third Hokage and Naruto, as Orochimaru started to mock all of them and gave orders as 10 cage level shinobis attack Minato as well as the third Hokage, while the first Hokage, who only had 30% of his power, rushes towards Naruto as Naruto summoned the Wood Dragon as well as the first Hokage. The battle between the Mokitan users has begun, while on the other hand, it did not take long for Minato and the third Hokage to be defeated by the hands of so many cage level shinobi. After all, even if Minato has the power of the flying Raijin, the second Hokage also possessed that technique, so therefore Minato was easily taken care of with the help of Sakumo Hatake as well as the second Hokage joining forces, while on the other hand third Hokage was hardly a challenge for other powerful shinobi, while on the other hand Naruto also realized that the power of the first Hokage was simply far too much, even if Naruto possessed equal level of chakra to that of the full power Hashirama Senju. Naruto's age body is not developed to that point. On top of that, he was only 12-year old, so he was unable to use the true power of the Mokitan, while the first Hokage simply had too much experience, even if his Mokitan techniques were not as powerful as that of Naruto, and he was also a reanimated body, so the system gave Naruto a mission to collect one tail worth of Kyuubi's chakra, and in return he will get all the techniques of the Uzumaki clan. So Naruto rushes towards the direction of unconscious Menma. Orochimaru realized that Naruto might be up to something, so he gave orders as Sakumo Hatake as well as the second Hokage attack Naruto, but Naruto was able to dodge all of them and finally arrived beside Menma and decided to take one tail worth of Kyuubi's chakra, knocking Menma out, who was almost awoke. While on the other hand, Naruto gained all the techniques of the Uzumaki clan, including the chakra chains, and just like that, Naruto unleashed his chakra chains, which rushes towards the reanimations and grab them. As afterward, Naruto used the power of the contract seal to simply dispel all of their summoning, shocking Orochimaru, as Naruto told the Orochimaru that the reanimation technique is a form of summoning technique and it can be cancelled out with the contract seal, shocking everyone that was present there. As Naruto attacked the first Hokage, who was still far too powerful, so Naruto decided to use the Mokitan technique to gather the Sage Chakra, and he was able to enter a half-baked Sage mode, and that was enough for Naruto to take down the first Hokage, who was pretty impressed with Naruto's power, and just like that, all the souls of the reanimations were unleashed. Afterward, Orochimaru ran away. But Naruto decided to use the power of the Mokidan to capture a lot of Sand Shinobi, and even the one-tailed Jinchuriki was captured by Naruto. Afterward, after some time, a Jonin council was summoned in which Naruto was promoted to a Jonin, as all the Jonins agree with that. After all, not only Naruto defeated the first Hokage while they were not on their full power, but still all the reanimations were also taken care of by Naruto. On top of that, he also made Orochimaru of the Sannin run away. And that was not all. His credit in this war was also quite great, so Naruto was easily able to get promotion of a Jonin, as afterward Danzo and the council tried to force Naruto into the root organization, but Naruto simply dismissed that. While the Elder Council was angry, Tokage stopped Koharu from speaking too much. Thus, the council meeting finally came to an end. So yeah guys, that was the last part of the series. So if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. You guys will definitely like it. So without any further ado, let's start the story from here. In the Hokage office, Minato was present there with some paperwork in front of him. In this time, he has already recovered a lot of his chakra, so he was ready to take on the duties of Hokage once again. As Minato was doing the paperwork, suddenly the door was opened and Jiraiya finally entered, as well as Tsunade and Kushina. As Minato looked towards them, so Jiraiya Sensei, are you here? As Jiraiya nodded at that, well Minato, you're looking pretty well. As Minato sighed and nodded at that, as Jiraiya simply shook his head, Minato, I'm here for Menma. As Minato also sighed at that, well sensei, what do you want me to do? As Minato looked towards Jiraiya, surely you do not want me to ask Naruto to hand over his chakra even if I want to. The council will never agree to it. Not only Naruto possesses the sage body, he has also woken the power of the Moketon. And even as a Hokage, I cannot ask such a powerful shinobi to hand over his chakra to Menma. Menma may be powerful, but Naruto has truly reached to a level that is truly impressive. As Jiraiya simply shook his head at that, Minato, I'm not here for that. You know the condition of Menma. He was defeated by the hands of Naruto, and lately he's feeling pretty down. But you're right, Minato. Naruto has really become powerful, and he may be a candidate for the Child of Destiny as well. Though I still believe that Menma has greater chances of being the Child of Destiny. But that is beside the point, Minato. Maybe you should talk with Naruto and ask him to come back to the family. As Minato frowned at that, honestly, he wanted to talk with Naruto as well, but he seriously doubted that Naruto will come back to the family. But still, he has to at least try. As Minato nodded at that, finally Tsunade spoke up. Well, Minato, if that can be arranged, as for Naruto's blood, I want to try something. After all, this is the power of the Mokiton. While the village has already experimented on the body of the first Hokage, but they were unable to find how to achieve the power of the Mokitan. But Naruto is not a descendant of the Senju clan, though he's a descendant of the Uzumaki, but still he has the power of the Mokitan. So maybe we would be able to find something from his blood. As Minato frowned at that, he needs to ask Naruto about it. As he simply nodded at that, just when they were about to leave, Jiraiya spoke up, well Minato, that if that is all, then maybe we should get to the next point, the chakra. As both Kushina and Tsunade frowned at that, honestly, they do not want to do this, but Jiraiya decided to speak nonetheless. As Minato, you already know that all those years ago, the one who was most compatible with Menma was not Naruto, it was actually Kushina, but we cannot ask Kushina to hand over the chakra. After all, she's no longer the Jinchuriki and her strength will decrease, so this can only go to Mito. She's the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Even if she hand over some of her chakra to Menma, she should be able to recover after a good night's sleep. As Minato frowned at that, honestly, he also loved Mito too much to ask her to hand over her chakra to Menma, but this is for the shinobi world, and peace must be brought to the shinobi world, and for that sacrifices has to be made. As Minato closes his eyes, alright, Jirai Sensei, I will talk with Mito. Minato, you cannot do that. As Kushina spoke up, as Minato simply shook his head at that, Kushina, we already have talked about it. This is for the shinobi world. This is for the peace, and we have to make sacrifices. As Kushina wanted to say something, but Jiraiya looked towards her. Kushina, all those years ago, you were able to sacrifice a child for the betterment of the shinobi world, and Naruto has already gone out of our hand. So for that, Mito has to make sacrifices. As Kushina also wanted to argue more, but Minato finally spoke up. Kushina, that is all. We had already talked about it, and this is my decision. As Kushina closes her eyes at that, she will not be able to protect Mito, and for that she was really sad. While on the other hand, Tsunade gritted her teeth at that, but decided not to say anything. Now, let us get back to Naruto. At the moment, Naruto was meditating on top of the Hokage faces as Naruto opened his eyes. So, what brought you here, fourth Hokage? As Naruto looked back to see that Minato was standing there with a smile on his face. Naruto. Well, Naruto, what do you think of our village? As Naruto simply scoffed at that. After all, he has already heard too many of these things when he was young. His parents still told him that how they should make sacrifices and how glorified Konoha was and how village was needed, and at this point he doesn't need these so-called lectures and things like that. Not to scoff at that. Do not try to fool me, fourth Hokage. I have already heard so many of your lectures earlier. So tell me, why are you exactly here? As Minato frowned at that as he looked towards Naruto. Naruto, I know that you may have dissatisfaction with us for our earlier treatment for you, but you have to understand it. At that point, you were needed for the betterment of the shinobi world. As Naruto simply laughed at that. Do not try to fool me, Fourth Hokage. Your dearest son has already explained it in front of the entirety of Konoha, though that I was the least compatible with that of Menma's chakra, though you did not sacrifice your own wife, you did not sacrifice your beloved Jinchuriki, you decided to sacrifice me, a so-called useless son in your eyes, and now that I have woken the power of the Mokitan, that I have proven my potential, you are here. Let me guess, you are here to ask me to return to the family, isn't that right, Namikaze? As Minato was taken aback at that as he looked towards Naruto, as Naruto simply scoffed at that. Do not try to fool me, Fourth Hokage. You and I had an agreement, and I have already defeated Menma, so do not try to force my hand, otherwise things will not end well for you. As Minato looked glared towards Naruto. What do you mean by that, Naruto? Are you trying to threaten me? As Naruto scoffed at that, you already know that your reputation has already taken a hit. After this whole ordeal, as useless as the third Hokage was, but under his leadership, there was never a point where the village was attacked. But not only the village was attacked at the night of the QB attack when we were born all those years ago, the village was almost destroyed. Do not forget that you were the Hokage at that time, and even after that, and this is a direct invasion of Konoha. Two invasions directly happened in your 10 years as Hokage, Minato. As Minato frowned at that, he already know that his reputation has taken serious hit. Though Minato doubts that this is the work of the Elder Council, especially that Danzo, but it simply cannot be said that these are actually lies. After all, under his leadership, not only the QB attack happened, and now the Sun Shinobi has directly attacked the village, and he, the Hokage, was defeated by a rogue shinobi. These things cannot be said to be lies. As Minato looked towards Naruto with his narrowed eyes, as Naruto smirked at that. I have awoken the power of the first Hokage. I have the Mogetan. You know my reputation in the village. If things will really turn out bad, just think about it, Namikaze Minato. If I were to explain, to tell to everyone that you, the Hokage, are forcing the one and only Mokitan user in the village to hand over my chakra to your beloved son, what will truly happen? All that reputation of yours, or whatever left of it, will truly be ruined, and it will not take long for you to be kicked out of the Hokage position. After all, I have already seen the ambition in the eyes of that elder Danzo. As Minato looked towards Naruto and decided not to say anything, Minato himself was in a difficult situation at this point. And forcing Naruto will not help anyone. As Minato looked towards Naruto, so what do you want, Naruto? As Naruto simply smirked at that, I want you to uphold your end of the deal. I will no longer associate with your damn family, and you will leave me alone. That is all I want. If you can do that, then I shall not go against you. As Minato started to think about it, after all, at this point, Naruto coming back to the family may be helpful for Minato, but Naruto, if he really go and push things to that end, then it will not end for Minato and well for Minato, and he will truly be pushed out of the Hokage position. As Minato frowned for some time, but nodded nonetheless. Alright, Naruto, I will uphold my end of the deal. You will no longer had to hand over your chakra to Menma, and not only that, my family will not go against you. And just like that, Minato turned his back and decided to walk away, but looked towards Naruto once again. So, what do you want in life, Naruto? As Naruto looked towards him, as for now, I just want to complete mission and make a reputation for myself, and maybe in the future. As Naruto looked towards the village, as a complicated expression appeared on Naruto's face. Honestly, he has never thought much of the village, but he really wanted to do something in his life. After all, at this point, he was still trying to think what to do with this new life. As Naruto closes his eyes, as Naruto finally smiled at that. Maybe it is time. As Naruto finally opened his eyes with determination. Maybe I will become the next Hokage. When Minato heard that, he was taken aback at that. Honestly, Minato has already decided that the next Hokage will be Menma. But when he heard Naruto, his heart stopped for a second and a complicated expression came to Minato's face. Menma was powerful. He was a prodigy, but Naruto, the power of the Mokitan, the power of the first Hokage. That was something that no one in the shinobi world can compete with. As he looked towards Naruto with a complicated expression, but decided to shake his head and disappear using the flying Raijin. As Naruto looked towards the village, maybe it is time that he started to make his own faction within the village. Naruto has realized that the situation is in Konoha is not as peaceful as people like to say. After all, he has realized that the fourth Hokage has his own faction, mainly consists of young people like that of the new leaders of the Inoshikachu, as well as the Uchiha clan leader, while on the other hand, Hyuga clan is can be said to be divided. There was also the elders of the Hyuga clan, while the older generation still support the third Hokage, and third Hokage also have his own faction within the village. And then there is the elder council, the respective clans, and the people they have also trained for themselves. They also have their own faction, not to mention that bastard Danzo. Shimura clan as well as Root cannot be underestimated, as well as Elder Council also remain closely tied with that of the Danzo's faction. As Naruto looked towards the village, he has already seen many people almost worshipping him, and admiration in their eyes, as well as many of the older generation who have seen the power of Hashirama Senju and the battle between Naruto and Hashirama. They have started to believe in him, and Naruto has decided to make his own faction within Konoha that will be helpful for Naruto to become the new Hokage. As Naruto smiled at that and disappeared from there using blinding speeds, while on the other hand, Minato finally arrived back to the Hokage office. The third Hokage and Jiraiya were present there as Jiraiya looked towards Minato. As Jiraiya finally decided to spoke up, Minato, did you talk with Naruto? What did he say? After all, Jiraiya still loved Mito more. After all, in his eyes, Mito and Menma were the true godchildren he had, while Naruto was also considered a godson to Jiraiya, but he has also trained Mito, so it cannot be said that Jiraiya doesn't love Mito, while he still loves Menma more, but he still have a lot of love for Mito, and he was secretly hoping that since Naruto has woken the power of the Mokitan, his chakra levels should be equal to that of Mito, and his recovery power should not be lower than that of a Jinchuriki. So if Naruto were to come back to the family, they can use several bonds and things like that to blackmail Naruto to hand over his chakra to Menma, and who knows which sage body Menma would be able to awake the Mokitan as well, but that was just wishful thinking on Jiraiya's side, as Minato simply shook his head at that and decided to take his seat as Jiraiya frowned at that. Tell me, Minato, what did happen? As Minato decided to explain everything. When Jiraiya and the third Hokage heard this, they were taken aback at that, while on the other hand, third Hokage was still smoking. He was the one who chose Minato as the next Hokage. And hearing that, Naruto not only blackmailed Minato and told Minato that in his tenure two invasions of Konoha has happened and Minato was in complicated situation and if Naruto truly forces it, things will not end well for anyone. Even Third Hokage was a little worried about it. After all, he still know that Minato was his best bet, and it cannot be said that it was the fault of Minato. Neither the Ninth invasion or the Sand Shinobi invasion could be put on Minato's head, but people cannot see that, while on the other hand Danzo and the Elder Council was still forcing the issue, and it was rather complicated situation. And if Minato was really outed from the Hokage position, Danzo will try his best to become the next Hokage, and lately the Elder Council is favoring Danzo too much. Maybe it is time that he has a talk with his old friends, while on the other hand Jiraiya slammed his face into the table. Minato, how dare Naruto blackmail you? He's your son, you're the Hokage. As Minato simply sighed at that. Do not worry, Jiraiya Sensei, I have already talked with Naruto. As long as our family do not force him or and uphold our end of the deal. After all, Naruto has defeated Menma in the Chunin exam, so he's free from the Uzumaki Namikaze family. As Jiraiya wanted to say more, but Minato simply shook his head at that. Not only that, Naruto has told me that he wants to become the next Hokage. As Jiraiya spoke up, impossible, Minato. You cannot hand over the position of Hokage to Naruto. It is utterly impossible. Next Hokage should rightfully be Menma. as Jiraiya was truly angry at this point. Naruto was really forcing it. It is not the place of Naruto to become the Hokage. The Hokage position naturally belongs to the child of destiny, and that is Menma. As Jiraiya looked towards Minato, I have just came back from the Mount Miyaboku and have explained the situation to the great old sage. He has said that Naruto is an anomaly, while on the other hand, Menma remains the true child of destiny, and Menma is the one who is destined to save the shinobi world. And if Menma really has to change the shinobi world, he needs to become the Hokage, because if he's not in the leadership position, how will he bring out the change in the shinobi world? While on the other hand, Minato had a complicated expression on his face. Honestly, in the beginning, he did not had much faith in the so-called prophecy and a so-called child of destiny, but after some time, he started to believe in the great Elder Toad Sage as well. And now, listening to this, he was really in a complicated mood, while on the other hand, Third Hokage was just happy that Naruto was loyal to Konoha. The power of the Mokitan was simply far too great, and Naruto has the potential to reach the level of the first Hokage. He just didn't want such a powerful shinobi to become an enemy of Konoha. As the third Hokage spoke up, do not worry too much about the situation, Jiraiya. In the future, whoever is more worthy shall become the Hokage. After all, it is not the place of the Mount Miyaboku to make the future Hokage. As Jiraiya wanted to say more, but Minato spoke up, do not worry, Sensei. In the future, we will decide who will become the Hokage. As for now, our first priority is to train Menma as well as Mito. As Jiraiya clenched his fist at that, looking towards his sensei and pupil who are losing hope in the child of destiny, Jiraiya cannot accept it. Why? Why is that Naruto is showing such potential? This potential should naturally belong to Menma, who is destined to save the shinobi world. Honestly, when Naruto awoke the power of the Mokitan and how powerful he was, he also had doubt that Naruto might be the true child of destiny, so he specifically went to the Mount Miyaboku. But the great Toad Sage said that Naruto awakening the power of the Mokitan is nothing, no matter how powerful a shinobi is. A child of destiny remains a child of destiny, even if he is not the strongest in the shinobi world. He is destined to bring the great change to the shinobi world. So Menma remains the true child of destiny, regardless of how powerful Naruto might become. So Jiraiya had perfect confidence in the child of destiny, that is Menma. As Jiraiya decided to jump out of the Hokage building, he has to think of something. While on the other hand, Minato simply shook his head at that as the third Hokage and Minato started to make plans against the Elder Council as well as Danzo, who were stirring up trouble in the whole village. As Naruto finally woke up next day, today is the day he's gonna start his first day as a Jonin. As Naruto smiled at that and finally arrived at the Hokage office in the place where in the mission center. As Naruto finally arrived to see that there were many shinobi present here after the invasion of the Sand Shinobi. Konoha Shinobis has to go around doing missions to prove that the village strength is still there, because if the clients realize that village is at low point, they might go to the other hidden villages like the Sand Village or the other 5 great villages. Then it would be trouble for Konoha. So that is the reason that all the shinobi of Konoha are doing missions. As Naruto finally arrived at the center and showed his identification as the Chunin that were present here, looked towards Naruto with awe. As Naruto simply smiled at that, I would like to have a rank mission. As the Chunin simply nodded at that and finally brought out a rank mission. This is an A-rank mission of bandit eradication, but the problem is that this bandit group has 2 shinobi with them, one associated with Aiwa village while the other belonged to the Komo village. As Naruto simply nodded at that and go through the whole ordeal. As Naruto simply nodded at that, there were only 2 Jonins which Naruto can easily take care of. As Naruto looked towards the shinobis who were taking their missions, as Naruto spoke up, my name is Uzumaki Naruto and I am taking this mission. I require 2 Jonins to come with me for this mission and a team of Jennings. When everyone heard that, they were taken aback at that, but they quickly realized who Naruto was as they looked towards Naruto in awe, the power of the Mokitan, and how easily the rumors that are going around the village that Naruto was the one who defeated the first Hokage as well as the second Hokage Tsukumo Hatake and made Orochimaru run away, though most of the people has also heard that it was thanks to the sealing techniques which Naruto knew, but Rumors are rumors. Many people have seen the battle itself, so Naruto's reputation can be said to be at its highest as several of them rushes towards Naruto ready to go on a mission with Naruto as Naruto simply selected a team of genin with good potential as well as two Chunin who seem to be in charge of these Janin team as Naruto simply nodded and decided to go on the mission. Finally, at the door of Konoha, at the gate of Konoha, Naruto looked towards the team. The Janin were quite older, even older than Naruto at the age of 16, while the Chunin also had good strength. While on the other hand, Naruto closes his eyes. This was his, you can say, plan. In the future, if Naruto wants to become the Hokage, then he requires his own faction. Reputation is nothing. There was a point when Minato Namikaze's reputation was also quite great, and now many people are doubtful of his leadership. For Naruto to become the Hokage, looking towards the Chunin, Naruto can see that these people has potential. If they can become Hokage, then they can vote for him to become the next Hokage. After all, the Jonin Council is quite important for anyone to become Hokage, while the Genins does not have potential to become Jonin, but becoming Chunin is also quite well, and they would be helpful for him to become the future leader. As Naruto simply smirked at that, he did not forget that the Jonins has the authority to give jutsus to their respective subordinates, while on the other hand, Naruto knows all the A rank and below techniques of all the five elemental natures, so these shinobis can easily become his subordinates. As Naruto simply nodded at that, as Naruto looked towards them. Our mission is pretty simple. We have to go on the border of the five nation where there is a bandit group, but this bandit group had two Jonin as their leader. So this is classified as a A rank mission, as the Chunin simply nodded at that, while on the Genin were a bit, you can say, nervous. After all, they were still Jennings, as Naruto smiled towards them. Do not worry, I shall be here to protect you people, as all of them looked towards Naruto with awe, as Naruto simply made a signal as all of them disappeared. But unknown to everyone that were present here, well except Naruto, there was a team of Ambo who was watching everything, and they finally arrived at the Hokage office where Minato was present along with the third Hokage. As the Ambo kneeled in front of Minato, fourth Hokage-sama, the third Hokage-sama, we have seen Uzumaki and Naruto leaving the village along with their team of two Chunin and the three Genin. As Minato looked towards him with a raised eyebrow at that, he has accepted a mission of A rank to eradicate a bandit group led by two Jonins. As Minato looked towards the detail of the mission and nodded, nonetheless, Naruto was promoted to a Jonin, so therefore he has the authority to take the mission. As while on the other hand, Third Hokage frowned at that as the idea came to Third Hokage's mind, but there was little he could actually do about the situation as Ambu was dismissed. And Third Hokage looked towards Minato. Minato, you know that what Naruto is trying to do. As Minato simply sighed at that, there's little we can do against it, Third Hokage. Naruto is a Jonin, he can go on mission. That is his authority. And we cannot push Naruto too far, as the third Hokage simply sighed and nodded at that. Tell me, Minato, what are your future plans? Who do you want to choose between both of your children? Do you want Menma to become the next Hokage, or do you want Naruto to become the next Hokage? As Minato was silent for some time, as he looked towards the third Hokage, well, if it was up to me, then I've always trained Menma to become the next Hokage, but Naruto's reputation is simply too high, and you know about my own situation, and Naruto's reputation is such that if he gets the Jonin vote, then even my own recommendation will not help Menma. But Jiraiya Sensei is right. We have always trained Menma to become the next Hokage. So I'm in the favor of Menma. As Third Hokage was silent for some time, Minato, you have seen how easily other cage level shinobi were able to defeat us, but it is mainly because of the barrier as well as the second Hokage being present there. But you do not know the strength of the first Hokage, how powerful he was. Do not believe that the first Hokage summoned by Orochimaru was at his peak. He was only at 30% of his power. At the peak of the first Hokage, he could subdue all the five villages. If Naruto would truly achieve that level, then even if you and I both recommend Menma to become the next Hokage, Menma can never become the Hokage. As Minato was silent for some time, so what do you want me to do, Third Hokage? As Third Hokage simply sighed at that, I believe that you should remain neutral in this position if you really force menma to become the Hokage, then village can be divided and your position will not be stable anymore. As Minato started to think about it, maybe he should try to amend Ramen relationship with Naruto, but he simply shook his head at that. It is for the future. I'm still young and can remain in the Hokage position for a decade or two. As third Hokage was silent for some time but nodded nonetheless. You're right, Minato. You're still young. You are only at the Hokage position for around 13 years, and there's still time. As Minato simply nodded at that and started to do the paperwork, while on the other hand, unknown to both of them, Jiraiya was at the window. He has heard everything as Jiraiya frowned at that and disappeared from the position. While far away in a cave, there were 10 figures that were present here. These figures were none other than the members of the Akatsuki. The pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, opened his Rinnegan eyes and looked towards all the members that were present here. As Pain finally decided to speak up, you have all heard about the information in the village. It seemed that Orochimaru has really become powerful. He was able to summon 10 S-rank shinobi. Even the first and second Hokage were summoned by Orochimaru to attack Konoha, while on the other hand, Sasori spoke up. If I'm not mistaken, Orochimaru was defeated in this invasion. As Pain nodded as that, while on the other hand, Toby finally decided to speak up. It is mainly because of the son of the Hokage, Uzumaki Naruto. He has awoken the power of the Mokiton. When all the members of the Akatsuki heard that, they were taken aback at that, especially Kakuzu. He was the one who has seen the power of Hashirama Senju and the horror of the Mokiton, while most of the members has heard about the reputation of the first Hokage, the god of shinobi. But that are just that legends, and being S-rank shinobi, they naturally have their own pride, so they do not take the power of the Mokiton seriously. Even Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, do not have Mokitan in his eyes. After all, he has the Rinnegan, so he doesn't care about the Mokitan. Finally, Black Zetsu spoke up. Leader, we believe that we should bring Uzumaki Naruto into the Akatsuki organization. His powers, especially the Mokitan, which has the ability to suppress the other Bijus, is pretty useful for us. As Pain started to think about it, so why do you believe that the son of Hokage will join the Akatsuki? As Black Zetsu decided to explain the situation, from the very young age, Naruto Uzumaki was suppressed by the Hokage and Hokage family, as Jiraiya of the Sannin believes that the younger sibling of Naruto, Menma, is the so-called child of destiny who one day will save the shinobi world. But Menma has the yin half of the nine tails sealed inside of him, and because of that, his own chakra is at imbalance. So the grand plan of the Hokage and his family was for Naruto, who was compatible with that of Menma's chakra, for Naruto to hand over his chakra to Menma at 1 month interval. For that, Naruto was unable to become powerful shinobi. It was only because that he has somehow awoken the power of the sage body that he was able to break free from the family. And in this Chunin exam, he had a bet with his family that if he is able to defeat his younger sibling Menma in the Chunin exam, that then he will be freed from the family. And in this Chunin exam, he has awoken the power of the Mokiton, thus finally freeing his himself from the family. When everyone heard that, they were taken aback at that. They never expected someone like Minato Namikaze, whose reputation precedes him, to do something like this to his own son. So they decided to look towards each other, while on the other hand, Pain also realized that there is a great chance that Naruto might be able to join their Akatsuki organization. As Toby started to laugh at that, well, that is great. Maybe we should go and make him join our organization, as he was dancing like a fool. As Pain simply nodded at that. Alright, Kisame. And Shisui, you will be the one to offer Uzumaki Naruto to join our organization in this timeline. Itachi never joined the Akatsuki organization, rather it was Shisui, because they had a, you can say, whole ordeal and a deal with Minato. When Danzo attacked Shisui was able to save himself, but when Minato heard about it, he told Shisui to take advantage of the situation and join the organization. So people believe that it was because Shisui was attacked by the higher-ups of Konoha, who wants to take away his Mangekyo Sharingan. So Shisui was able to use this excuse to join the Akatsuki organization. So He is the partner of Kisame, while on the other hand, Shisui has heard everything. He was pretty surprised. After all, in Konoha, a new genius has appeared. Not only a normal genius, but with the power of the Mokitan. While hearing about the so-called harm done to Naruto by the fourth Hokage, Shisui did not think much of it. After all, he knows about Menma and he also knows about the Child of Destiny. Honestly, his contact point is that of Jiraiya and he had a good relationship with Jiraiya. And Shisui, like Shisui, believes that Naruto as the older sibling must make sacrifices for the younger ones. And Menma is the Child of Destiny who will save the shinobi world. So what if Naruto has to hand over his chakra to Menma? Maybe in this mission, he will give some advice to Naruto to return back to the family and hand over his chakra to Menma, who will save the shinobi world. As Shisui decided that in his mind, while on the other hand, Kisame had a smirk on his face. So Shisui and Kisame decided to go after Naruto, while on the other hand, Naruto had a good talk with both of the Chunins as well as the Genin in his team, and they finally arrived to the location where they had already seen the bandit group, as both of the Jonin seemed to be present there and they seemed to be partying at this point. It seemed that when Konoha was attacked, a lot of border shinobi had to return back to Konoha to take on missions, so these bandits were able to escape into the Fire Nation to loot and things like that. So they seemed to be pretty happy about the whole situation as Naruto gave orders, and just like that, the Janins were the first one to attack the bandit group, as both of the Jonins quickly realized the situation, as the Chunin also decided to help the Janins. In this time, Naruto was not lazing around. In this mission, he has taught both of the Chunins several jutsus as well as given some jutsus to and teachings to the Janins, and they seem to be improving at this point. Both of the Chunin step forward and rushes towards one of the Kumo Shinobi Jonin, as Kumo Shinobi simply scoff at that, Konoha's come and they seem to be only Chunin. It seemed that Konoha seemed to be really in a bad situation. Well, that is to our advantage, and just like that, Kumo Shinobi powered up his lightning jutsu and rushes towards both of the Chunins, but these Chunins were training with Naruto in this time, who has taught these Chunin how to improve their chakra control. On top of that, has taught them powerful A rank techniques as well, and the power of Jonin seem to be improving, and they have already reached the level of special Jonin in Konoha. Getting Jutsu is not that easy, but it is up to Jonin. They can give Jutsus to their subordinates, so that is something Jonin can do. While on the other hand, Naruto, who was watching this battle, was looking towards the Aiwa Jonin, who was rushing towards Naruto, as Naruto looked towards him and slammed his foot into the ground, and just like that, Mokitan vines appear from the ground surrounding the Jonin of Stone Village. When the Stone Village shinobi saw the Mokitan, he was taken aback at that, but he was already surrounded, and just like that, all of his chakra was absorbed by the vines, as Naruto did not pay too much attention to the Aiwa Jonin and was looking towards the Janin, who seemed to have easily taken care of most of the bandits, but it seemed that the information was not exactly right. It seemed that these bandits also know how to use chakra. Maybe these were the subordinates of these other Jonins, as Naruto simply nodded at that. But the Janin has also learned some C rank and such techniques, and they were easily able to overpower these bandits and such. While on the other hand, Naruto was looking towards both of the Chunins who are on the level of special Jonin, as both Chunins looked towards each other and started to go through hand style, wind tornado. This was the technique as Naruto has taught one of the Chunin who has a wind nature, as the other Chunin has already completed his sand sign, fire style, majestic dragon flame, and just like that, a huge face of the dragon appeared. This was the A rank technique of the Uchiha clan, which Naruto was able to learn thanks to the power of the system. And just like that, both fire and wind collided together as a tsunami of fire rushes towards the Jonin, who seemed to be using the armor of lightning to surround himself, as the Jonin of Kumo let out a roar as he rushes towards the fire tornado, but the battle was completely one-sided, and just like that, both of the techniques has already taken care of the Jonin, who seemed to be panting hard. Finally, one of the Jonin appeared behind him and knocked him out, and just like that, the mission was completed, as Naruto looked towards these people with satisfaction in his eyes. After all, he has taught them jutsus and has given them guidance. It will not take long for these special Jonins to reach the level of Jonin. Once reach the level of Jonin, they should be able to vote for him in the future, while the other Jonin who doesn't have the potential to become Jonin, but still they can become Chunin and become useful in the future. As Naruto simply nodded at that, suddenly Naruto felt something. As Naruto looked in a specific direction far away, it seemed that two powerful chakra signatures seemed to be coming in this direction. As Naruto's eyes narrowed at that, this powerful chakra signature should not be here. As Naruto started to think about it, who could be the person coming in this direction? As Naruto looked towards one of the Chunin, you guys gather all these people together and take the heads of the Chunin as a confirmation of our mission and gather everything that can be useful for us. As the Chunin also realized that their Jonin leader seemed to be giving them some orders, and the situation. After all, Naruto was looking towards the forest as the Chunin simply nodded at that and started to gather everything that could be useful for them, while on the other hand, Naruto made a wood clone, leaving it behind and disappearing into the forest, while in the forest, Shisui was rushing in the direction of Naruto. Thanks to the help of the Zetsu, they were able to find where Naruto was, and at the moment they were coming in this direction while Kisame spoke up. Well, Shisui Senpai, what do you know of this Uzumaki Naruto? It seems that his parents have gone too far and pushing him. After all, he has cut ties with his family. Shisui frowned at that. He doesn't believe that Naruto has done the right thing. After all, they are all Konoha Shinobi, and Naruto, as the older brother, should make sacrifices. After all, in the eyes of Shisui, he has sacrificed too much. He has left his village, he has left his clan, which he loved, and he has left behind Itachi, who is like his little brother, all for the sacrifice, all for the protection of the village. So what if Hokage-sama asked Naruto to hand over his chakra to Menma? Naruto is the older brother. He should willingly sacrifice his chakra for his little sibling. Menma is the child of destiny who will one day save the shinobi world. And now Naruto has also woken the sage body, so even if he hand over some of the chakra to Menma, it is only once a month. So he should be easily able to recover in 1 or 2 days of rest. So it should not be trouble for Naruto, and it will even improve the constitution of Menma, who is the child of destiny. As Shisui simply shook his head at that. Maybe he should have a talk with Naruto, and if it doesn't work, as Shisui's eyes changed to that of the Mangekyo Sharingan ready to put Koto Amasukami on Naruto, so that Naruto willingly makes sacrifices for the good of the village and for that of the Konoha and the child of destiny. Suddenly, Shisui felt something as he looked towards Kisame, as he put Genjutsu on Kisame, and just like that, a toad appeared in front of Shisui. As Shisui frowned at that, this toad was the one who often made contact with him when Hokage-sama wants to give him some orders, or when Jiraiya-sama like to make contact with him. So Shisui grabbed the scroll, opened it, as his eyes widened at that. This was the order of Jiraiya-sama to use his eye technique on Naruto to make him willingly help Menma become the child of destiny and help him become the future Hokage. Shisui doesn't know much about the situation, but if it is the order of the Hokage-sama and Jiraiya-sama, then it is time that his Koto Matsukami will come to use as well. And just like that, Shisui dispelled the frog as well as Genjutsu that was put on Kisame, and Kisame did not notice anything. After all, do not underestimate the eye power of Shisui, and after some time, they finally, both of them stopped as Naruto finally appeared from the woods and looked towards Shisui and Kisame with a small frown on his face, Akatsuki, as Naruto spoke one word. And while on the other hand, Shisui, who still had his Mangekyo open, looked towards Naruto, Koto Masukami. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here. So hopefully you guys liked it. For the next part, the like goal is gonna be, let's say about it, 100 likes, 20 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. So what do you think? Will the Koto Matsukami of Shisui will work on Naruto or not? So you can tell me in the comment section. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.